my channel. It's Chilling with Adey, and I hope that you've enjoyed all my programs so far. I'd like to say thank you, Jesus, for keeping us till now, for his protection, his love upon each and every one of us. I'd like to say thank you to all my subscribers, everyone that has been calling. Everybody, you're so amazing. I thank you so much. Family and friends, I'm saying thank you. But please, before I go on, do not forget to subscribe, share, because it's going to help someone. It's just to encourage another person going through a similar situation. You never might tell where this will go to. If that person has lost hope and is thinking that there is nothing else they can do, you know, talking to us here, watching us alone can elevate them. I have today on the show my sister, my confidant. She's beautiful. In fact, I will want you to hear directly from her, from the horse's mouth. I'm introducing to you Fadeke Elemide. Sis, introduce yourself now.
My name is Fadeke Elemide. I'm her friend. I'm her sister. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah, and it's been a good relationship.
Yes.
And I'm glad I knew you.
Oh, I'm blushing. She's a mother as well, mother of 2, and she's got a very wonderful man behind this beautiful looks. So she's going to tell you all about it in the meantime. But here she has come to share with us her experience in life, how she journeyed all through, and how God helped her to overcome. So sis, please, can you tell me, what is that issue that you faced?
We got married 2007, and you know, we were together, you know, thinking, you know, just to help the relationship grow more, you know, knowing yourself as husband and wife after marriage. And we were not worried about having children immediately, but after a few years we thought, okay, yeah, we're ready for that, and we can have children. And we found out that it wasn't happening. So at the initial stage we went to the doctors to see, you know, just to
have
for a check
done.
And yeah, they found out that both of us were fine. And we were advised that don't worry, it's going to happen over time. It would happen for you. Since both of you are okay, it would happen for you. And yeah, we just, you know, relaxed that, hoping and trusting that yeah, it would happen for us.
Sis, I know you know that I was in a similar situation. And my own case was quite similar to yours, because we weren't really saying that we wanted children immediately. But when we wanted it, it wasn't coming. But the doctors told us that if we wait another year and it's not working, then we should come back. How was it for you? So when you went to the doctor the first time, they checked you, everything was okay. Did you try going back? What was it for you?
Yes, we did. We tried going back. We waited for a few more years. The first time we went was 2009, I think. We waited till 2012 again.
Okay.
I think 2011, 2000 and thereabouts. And the doctor told us they did another check just to see is everything fine. And you know, everything turned out well. And but because I had gained a bit of weight, so I was told, well, you have to, if they have to refer me, that I have to work on my weight, just we have to shed a bit more weight, and then they will refer us. But at the NHS queue, there is always an NHS queue.
That's right.
And that there is always a long queue on the NHS queue. And so we were told, the doctor said, don't worry, we'll get back to you in the post. And but you have to work on yourself. And so I started working on myself, you know, trying to be the young lady again. All right, we waited after 3 years. I waited, and I was thinking, I didn't hear from them, and I was thinking, is the NHS queue that long? Oh, that must be a really, really long queue. So, you know, so after 3 years, I thought, let me just check back on the doctor, and I realized the doctor actually forgot about our case.
Oh, okay.
He forgot about our case. He was supposed to send a recommendation in the post to contact us, and they completely forgot about us.
It.
And you know, I was really furious. Although there was no apology, you know, from so that made me. But we just thought, no, that you are not the issue. Let's focus on what we want.
Yes.
And so the issue was still the weight. So now, because he knew we had waited, and you know, he knew the wrong that had been done, they had to, you know, now refer us.
Out.
Yeah. So we were referred, and I was referred to the fertility clinic, and I started treatment. They started checking me, but because there's still the weight issue, I still had to work more on the weight issue, and then I started. I joined a running club. I was watching my diet, and you know, and it was just going on like that. But we started the treatment. I had to go through some surgery to just check internally, check everything. So I went through some surgery, and you know, everything still come out well. So and they now know that it's going to be they are going to try IVF for us, because we're still within the range of where we can get the NHS free IVF treatments.
Okay.
So we're still within that range, and we were asked to, and I was 38 then.
At the
time I was 38 years, and the range the range that you can get the free one is 40 years.
40, yeah.
So they said, well, we have to try and speed things up, because the treatment may even take up to 2 years, depending on what they need to do.
Yes.
That may take up to that time, so they had to speed things up. So I had to work more on myself to make sure I get to the required weight. Yeah. So and we just continued like that.
Oh my God, that's a wonderful story. They continued. Yes, I had the problem as well with the BMI. If you're a woman trusting God for the fruit of the womb, honestly, it is not. It sounds easy the way she's saying it, but the journey is not that easy. You know, it takes God for us to stand as women to talk about this today. But I'm going to ask her one thing. In this, sis, how was it with you and your husband? Because for lots of women out there still going through this, you know, the husband might want to be weary. How did you make your home, you know, stay the way it is still?
Honestly, I would say it's God. And I want to thank God for my husband, because he was really so supportive. And one thing I am so glad for is, I wouldn't want other people to take this negatively, but I'm so glad I wasn't in Nigeria. Because if I were to be in my country, you might, you know, the waiting, because we eventually waited about 8 years. It might be frustrating, you know, with the family wanting to get things from you, you know, your family, especially in-laws, might want to, they might want to have to. Even my father will always ask me, anytime my father calls, what is the condition? And I ask Daddy, what condition? You know, so if my father can do that every time, you know, of course, what would you? Yes. So I really thank God for that, and I thank God my husband was really so supportive of it all. He was really so supportive.
So was there any time in your lives that you were thinking, will God ever do it?
Well, I would say no, because we were both Christian and we both have a relationship with God. We knew it would happen. When it will happen is what we don't know. But you know, as human, you will feel it when you see, you will rejoice with other people.
Exactly.
But then, you know, you just wish in your heart that, oh God, it's going to be my turn someday. And I remember there was, in 2014, I remember I've started the fertility program then, and it was a Festival of Life, time of Festival of Life. We've been going for Festival of Life, trusting God and everything. And I didn't go for Festival of Life that year because we had a visitor from Nigeria, and I was in the house and I was saying to God, I said, Lord, you know, I really wish to be at the Festival of Life, but I'm not there. And I think what provoked the prayer actually is the fact that they had a mother's Day in church. And in church, when in my church, when they have Mother's Day, they have buy flowers and they tell the children to go out, pick a flower and give it to your mom. And I think that provoked, it made me feel so sad. I know that somebody actually another picked the flower and came to give it to me. But you just feel like you could have, And I think when I got home, I just looked up to God and I said, Lord, I don't feel bad for people, but I just want mine.
Your own.
Yes, and I think I just went. I was in the kitchen. I remember I was in the kitchen and I just said that the church I attend is a fruitful church. We have 170 adult, 200 children.
Wow.
It's a fruitful church, lots of children. I said, but God, let mine be among the number. And so, and I just cried, I was just in the kitchen, I cried and I said, God, you have to do it.
Do something.
And after that, it was testimony.
Like she said, wait on God. You and your partner should just wait on God and just trust that someday, yours is coming, no matter how long it is. God says it that we should be fruitful and multiply. So why wouldn't your own children be amongst those he will share to? So I'm just going to ask my sis now, Adey. So how did the miracle just happen? I know we don't know how the children go. We can't even ask how children go into the womb, but what did you do? What steps did you take then?
All right, I said I started the fertility treatment.
Yes.
And they weren't doing, after they've done the surgery, everything was fine. So they were thinking, okay, now we'll recommend you for IVF because of your age.
Yes.
So they won't go through the normal route, so they have to speed it up.
Mm-hmm.
So this, we had an appointment to start IVF. Now look into IVF treatments. And but remember I said I was doing the exercises and all the things.
Just
so I joined the running club and I was going to the gym, using the equipment and all those things. Well, I remember I have a friend also that we were waiting together, and we usually just buy pregnancy test sticks together. And I remember that the last one we had buy in packs. And I had the last pack that I had just one left. And I remember saying to God that, Lord, I have just this one stick left. But the next time I will test. Let it be a positive one.
result.
We've used so many. So, but let this be a positive one. And so we left it. And after I noticed I was feeling funny. And I said, I was so reluctant. I don't want to test and then have a negative result. I was so reluctant, but I just said, okay, let me try. And then I went and tested. And meanwhile, I've been given an appointment for IVF treatment, to start the IVF treatment. And so that's on the side. I have my letter. I had a date set to go. And the day I took the test to the day I was to start the treatment was just 5 days apart.
Wow.
So I took the pregnancy test and I tested myself early that morning and it turned positive. And I was like, my husband was sleeping. I woke up early morning. My husband was sleeping and I was like, okay. Come, you've got to see this. And when he saw it, and it was like he didn't believe himself. He couldn't believe the results. And he was saying to me, are you sure this is what it means? He said, don't worry, I'll buy another pregnancy test. So he bought another kit and we tested and
it was positive
same thing. All right. He said God. He still cannot believe. He said you have to go to the doctors. All right, we went to the doctor, I booked an appointment. That happened on a Saturday. My next appointment for the IVF was the next Wednesday.
Okay.
So that's 5 days apart. So we went to the doctor the first Monday. I called the doctors and I went to them and they told me, you've done the test. If it's positive, that's it.
Positive.
We don't do another test for anybody.
So if you're out there and you're still trusting God for the fruit of the womb, please hold on to God. Continue to pray and to wait. And because you're waiting on God does not mean that you should not check yourself.
Yeah.
My sister here went to the hospital. She kept checking. And both of us had the same experience. Look, we had our BMIs, we were overweight. So we were asked to go and reduce a little bit before they can commence treatment. And it worked. God will have those things to work on. If he says it's just a little thing he wants to correct in us, then we should make the move and correct these things ourselves. And men, please support your wives. Don't give your wives to your family and say, oh, she's a useless woman, she can't even conceive. Confess positively to your spouse, please, and support her. She doesn't make the babies. She's not a baby making factory. God helps them, isn't it, sis?
You're right.
So I'm just going to ask my sister for some final words now to people out there that are still trusting God. Sis, please.
Yeah, I would encourage you, don't give up, because I waited about 8 years to have my girl, and the amazing thing that happened is that I had 2 children in 2 years.
Yeah.
I had 2 children in 2 years.
I know, I could see that.
And I remember my former neighbor, they all knew my situation, and then she said, I think your womb is just understanding what it needs to do.
That's true though.
And it's just God. I know it's not easy for anybody waiting. But you can only trust God. Like she said, nobody can make children.
No,
you can't make children. It's only when God has an appointed time, I believe, for everyone. Even Jesus, he had to. The scripture had talked about him since Isaiah and long time ago, even before then, and years more years, until it came. They come before their time. They can't even, because they have everything needs to be set. The stage needs to be set for them to fit into the situation.
Their own situation.
Yes.
Because every child has a purpose to fulfill in their lives. So they wait for their time and season to come and fulfill that which God has sent them to do. You need to sow the seed in advance by working on yourself. No prayer is too little. Sow the seed of prayer ahead of the children coming. Sow the seed of you looking after yourselves, because I know we women, when it gets to some certain age, we just leave ourselves and not, take the necessary vitamins, take the necessary, exercises that we need to do. We don't keep fit anymore. We just say, okay, when it's God's time, we'll be pregnant. No, you just don't do that. You to look after yourselves as well. And then with the love of your family, with the love of the people around you, your friends, please, people around, when you see women trusting God for the fruit of the womb, it's your duty, it's your and I's duty to pray for them and to encourage them, and not to talk behind them to say, oh, God knows what she has done in her days of her youth. Because nobody is praying to be in that situation at any point in time. Everybody wants to have their own child, except if they say to themselves, I don't want to. That's when we understand with them. Okay, so we've had these tips from my sister. She talked about prayers, she talked about patience, she talked about doing what you need to do, seeing the doctors, but above all, believing in God that at the right time it's going to happen. I'd like to say thank you to my dear, beautiful sister for sharing this with me.
Thank you for having me on your
Yes, so I've been lucky to have you, and I'm happy that you finally accepted to see us. Okay, so if you have any comments at all, if you want to ask her any further questions on how she did it and you still don't understand, please get in touch with us. Our Facebook and Instagram messages on the screen right now. Please make sure that you share this with us in a private message, and I'll pass the information over to her. And if you have any comments, please, there's a comment button down on this page. Please fill that in. Continue to subscribe, continue to share, and continue to like. I say peace be with you all until we see again. Thank you so much for watching again today. And to my sister as well, I'm sure she wants to say her bye-bye note.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.